Okay, so this is going to be just some basic information about flamenco footwork. And I wore my green boots today, so you can really pay attention to my shoes. Hopefully they'll stand out against all this wall here. So, number one thing is your body has to be aligned correctly before you even think about banging your feet. Okay? You can only go so far if you don't have correct body alignment. Correct body alignment would be nice and long. Long through the body. So notice how I don't have my tail retracting. I'm not looking down. My shoulders are not slumping forward. I'm not pushing my chest out further than it needs to be. All I'm doing is taking my shoulder blades back and let them slide down my rib cage and in toward each other so that I'm here. And my spine is at its natural curve and it's long. So notice I'm long through the neck here. Just like you're looking, you want to look level across a plane, for example. You want to see a long distance. You would stand here. You're not going to be able to see very much if you're doing this. Okay, so you really want to be like you're attentive and alert. If you do this, you'll be like a nail that is straight. You drive it down with a hammer, it goes right into the wood. If there's any kind of bend or imperfection, it's going to bend even more when you put pressure on it, and it's going to go any which way. And that's what tends to happen with footwork sometimes. Our feet, if we don't have strength in the heels, for example, or in the ankles, for example, they start wobbling and we can't get them to go straight down. Well, these are all things you need to think about. Okay, so it's basic posture. Now, as far as how to start any particular articulation, is you're always going to sit into one hip or the other. And it doesn't have to be this exaggerated, but you do have to feel like you're solid into that hip. Now, when I do this, this is going to be my supporting side, so that when I do lift the foot, I'm nice and solid. If I come up out of my hip, then I can't really get the weight of my leg and my entire body down into that foot. So you always want to, this is your place of starting, this is your initial place before you even lift your foot. So once I'm there, then I lift the foot. From here, I lift the foot and I drop. For example, we're going to do a golpe today. That's the whole foot down into the ground. I'm going to drop the foot like so. Now notice I've got long aligned posture, relaxed spine in its natural curve, and I'm letting the weight of my full body and the weight of my leg through my hip go into the ground, into the foot. So you want to always feel like you're getting into the ground and not just at the surface. You want to get in there. Okay? Now coming forward, if you were to see this, I'm sitting up, I'm dropping my weight, and then I switch to this hip, sit in there to get to the other side, and drop. So this is your initial little exercise you want to do just to develop strength in your golpes. Now, as far as articulation, notice that I bring my foot up behind me. I'm not here, or I'm not putting it up. I'm not hinging at the hip and bringing the knee up. Rather, I'm just bending the knee and lifting the foot. That doesn't mean I have to keep my thighs aligned with each other, so I'm hinging like this. That would be very difficult to get a good sound. All I'm doing is just bending the knee and lifting the foot. But all my sounds and articulations come from here. And then I drop everything down into it that way. And that goes with all your different articulations. If you have a jab, which is a flexed foot, same thing, lift and drop. Planta and a heel drop, for example. The heel drop. Planta, heel drop. Now when you do a planta, really flex that foot up, like so. Really get that heel up as high as you can. That way when you drop your heel, you have some momentum already. And all I do is sit into my right hip to get that heel. Planta. Okay, so notice what's happening in the hips. This is my supporting side, so I'm sitting in this hip. I drop my planta. As soon as I drop my heel, weight goes into this hip. So I'm here. And then the other side. Planta, 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 like so. All the while just trying to maintain that upright, open, long posture. So that's a good little start for you. Really think about all these things that have to do with the body And we'll do a little lecture on flamenco footwork and its function and why it's not that important to be very fast to footwork as long as your footwork is musical.